Hi everyone, welcome to Hatha Yoga. My name is Michelle Chua. Let's grab a couple of yoga blocks. You may like to have a folded blanket to sit on and a strap. And let's start in a comfortable seat in hero's pose actually. So let's place the knees in front of you, point the toes back, make sure the feet are not turned out, and either sit directly on your calves or grab a block or pillow to place right between your ankles to support the knees more comfortably. So I continue to reference the book that I'm reading by Pema Chodron called The Places That Scare You, a guide to fearlessness in difficult times. And in this excerpt, she talks about directly fearlessness. When we understand that there is no final attainment, no ultimate answer or stopping place, when our mind is free of warring emotions and the belief in separateness, then we will have no fear. The synonym for total fearlessness is full enlightenment, wholehearted, open-minded interaction with our world. And that just brings up the image of samadhi, the eighth limb of yoga, to me. This unity consciousness where we can embrace all that is life, the whole spectrum. And I love how she says, free of warring emotions, free of the belief in separateness. When we can find that state of letting go of the ego creating walls between us and them. You know, we've been talking a lot about asmita, one of the kleshas or root causes of suffering. Through time, through practice, samadhi is not something to strive for, but rather it's something that we create the conditions for. Through the practice of the first through 8 limbs of yoga, from the yamas, the niyamas, pranayama asana, concentration, meditation, and then the complete oneness. So in this practice today, we're going to physically do quite a bit of cleansing and activating of the solar plexus energy center, which is actually often called Manipura chakra, the seat of the ego. But how do we utilize the ego in a healthy way, where it doesn't run us, but we can see when its thoughts are not necessarily things that we need to subscribe to? And cleansing things that might feel stagnant, physically, energetically, mentally, thus opening our ability to expand and to see oneness with the life around us. So let's start. Root down to your left and right sitting bones. Lift tall to the center of your spine. Stack your shoulders above your hips and be still. Maybe close the eyes. Rest your awareness into the different parts of your body as you pay attention to the sensations. Pay attention to the sensations that come along with the breath as it naturally comes and goes. Noticing your energetic state. And noticing your mental and emotional state. As you join your palms to meet at your heart, what's one thing that you can offer gratitude for as you begin this practice? With the energy of gratitude, clarify your intention, what you're choosing as your object of concentration, what you're choosing to focus your energy on and bring more of into your experience. And then maybe choose somebody to dedicate today's practice to, whether it be a single individual or community or cause. Exhale any stagnant air, and let's prepare to chant 3 ohms together. Inhale deeply. Let's begin to practice Ujjayi Pranayama, victorious breath. Closing the lips, softly narrow the back of your throat. And sustain your breath evenly in and out through the nose, creating a gentle whisper. As you keep that breath rhythm going, come on down to your back. Lie down and extend your legs up towards the sky to whatever degree of straight is comfortable for you, where you can stack the ankles above your hips to some degree, and then firm in the belly. We're going to start to warm up our twisting muscles here. Bring your right hand to the back of your skull, keeping the natural length of your neck. Cross your left arm against your outer right thigh. Take a deep breath in, and lifting your head and shoulders, spiral your torso to reach towards the upper right corner of the room. Keep the head lifted. Inhale again. Lower your right heel forward to hover at about 2 inches off the ground. Either flex or point your feet. Exhale, lift the right leg to meet the left. Inhale again. Lower to hover. Exhale, 9. Inhale, lower. Exhale, 8. Keep spiraling your torso. Inhale. Exhale, 7, twisting across your waistline. Inhale. Exhale, 6. Keep reaching the left fingers towards the upper right corner. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Nice and slow movement. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Relax the head and shoulders. Keep your legs lifted. Now place the left hand behind your skull. Try to keep the natural length of your neck. Cross your right arm against your outer left thigh. Deeply inhale. Exhale, lift your head and shoulders and twist to the left side. Inhale, lower the left heel forward to hover about 2 inches off the ground. Exhale, lift the leg slow and controlled. Inhale, hover again. Exhale, 9. Inhale, hover. Exhale, 8. Inhale, keep spiraling the torso. Exhale, 7, reaching the right fingertips. Inhale. Exhale, 6, towards the upper left corner of the room. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Bend your knees and start to rock and roll forward and back a few times, building some momentum so that eventually you can rise to stand at the front of your mat in a forward fold, separating your feet at least hips distance apart and parallel to each other. Bend your knees generously once you're there and either interlace your fingers or hold a strap between your hands as you stretch the arms forward to open the front of your shoulders and your chest. Listen to the quality of your breath here. Come back to that even rhythm, regulating your nervous system using Ujjayi Pranayama. You might keep the knees bent. Try to shift your weight as far forward as you can balance here. Maybe switch the interlacing of the thumb and index. And as you're stretching the arms further forward, lift the shoulders and drop your head. Relax the face, relax the jaw. Drop the arms, press to your feet, and as you inhale, sweep your arms forward, rise to stand in a gentle back bend. Roll the shoulders behind your ears and down and look up. Exhale, join your hands together at your heart. Let's flow through our Sun Salutation Series 1. Inhale, sweep your arms forward, coil your chest up in Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hinge from your hips. Lower your fingertips to the ground. Inhale, step the left knee behind you to a kneeling lunge. Look up. Holding your breath, step into plank pose. Exhale, lower your knees, chest, then chin. Inhale, slide to the ground into cobra pose, coiling your chest up. Exhale, press away the mat, lift your hips back to downward facing dog. Inhale, step the left foot forward beside your left thumb and lower your back knee, look up. Exhale, step your right foot forward and fold. Inhale, sweep your arms forward, Urdhva Hastasana with a back bend. Exhale, hands together at your heart. One more of this series, second side. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, lifting your chest. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Lower the fingertips. Inhale, step the right knee back and look up. Hold your breath as you step to plank. Then exhale, lower your knees, chest, then chin, Ashtangasana. Inhale, slide to the floor, coil the chest in Cobra or Bhujangasana. Exhale, lift the pelvis back to Downward Dog or Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, step the right foot forward, lower your back knee and look up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, step the left foot forward and bow, Uttanasana. Inhale, sweep your arms forward, coil your chest up in Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands together at the heart in Padasana. Let's take it to our second series, Surya Namaskar. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, still back bending. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold. Press down with your hands on blocks or the ground. Inhale, lengthen forward into Ardha Uttanasana. Step into plank and let's pause there on this round for 3 to 5 breaths. Choose to either keep your legs straight and actively firm the inner heels back, or to place your knees on the ground directly under your hips. Make sure your wrists are right under your shoulders and you're lengthening your neck by gazing on the ground in front of your thumbs. Lift the sides of your belly and waist. As you exhale, glide forward as far as you can before bending the elbows back so they hug your side ribs. 90-degree bend is Chaturanga Dandasana. Then lower all the way for Cobra or flip the toes there into Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. Exhale, lift your hips back to Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Allow maybe 5 breaths here. Either be still if you're ready or take a moment to move your body organically as you need. Slowing down your breathing and listen to its qualities. Spread your fingers flat on the ground. Bend your knees and lift your heels and hips high. Breathe in, look forward of your hands. Empty your breath. Then walk or lightly jump to the front of your mat. Uttanasana. Inhale, press with your hands, rise forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale again, Uttanasana. Press down with your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms forward into Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Padasana, hands at the heart in mountain pose. Let's take one more round of this. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Step to plank. Exhale, glide forward and lower through Chaturanga Dandasana. And choose either Cobra or upward facing dog, breathing in. Exhale to downward facing dog. This time, let your body be still. Steady your gaze on one spot. Rebalance the breath for 3 cycles. After the third exhale, walk or lightly jump to the top of your mat. Then inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Root down to rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Padasana. Let's move on to our last sun salutation series, bringing the inner edges of your feet to touch so we can start in chair pose. One movement, each breath. Inhale, bend your knees together, sit low, lean back into your heels as you raise your arms, Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, lean forward and fold from your hips, Uttanasana. Inhale, press with the hands, Ardha Uttanasana. Walk to plank and lower through Chaturanga or float into Chaturanga. Then finish your vinyasa with Cobra or Upward Facing Dog, back to Downward Facing Dog. Inhale there, raise your right leg behind you. Lift the belly high, so as you exhale, you can lightly step the foot forward beside your right thumb and spin the back heel down. Facing forward, inhale, rise into Warrior One. Then ride the exhale down into your vinyasa. From Downward Facing Dog again, inhale, raise the left leg back. Lift the belly high and gently step the foot beside your left thumb, spinning the right heel down. Facing forward, inhale, rise to Warrior One. Ride your exhale all the way down to finish your vinyasa. At Downward Facing Dog, pause for 3 breaths. Again, steadying your gaze, sharpening your skills of concentration. Called dharana in Sanskrit. When you finish the third exhale, walk or lightly jump to the front of your mat. With feet touching, inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, fold. With knees touching too, inhale, back to Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, rise up to Padasana. Let's take the same sequence one last time. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Step or float back. Take it through your vinyasa. From Adho Mukha Svanasana, inhale, lift the right leg back. Exhale the foot beside right thumb, spin the back heel down. Then inhale, rise to Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale to lower into your vinyasa. From Adho Mukha Svanasana, inhale, raise the left leg. Exhale the foot beside your left thumb, drop the right heel. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale into your vinyasa. Then again, be still for 3 breaths at Adho Mukha Svanasana. When you finish the third exhale, walk or float to the front of your mat. There, inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Knees together. Inhale, sit low in Utkatasana. Exhale to rise, Padasana. Now let's separate the feet, at least hips width apart, parallel to each other, and bring your hands to your hips. Drop the shoulders back. Inhale, look up. Hinging from your hips, lengthen your spine as though you have a flat back. You can bend the knees and you mount, and then fold for a few breaths in any way that you choose, a variation of Uttanasana. You could hold opposite elbows and bend the knees, sway the spine. You could clasp your big toes and bend the elbows apart, lift the shoulders. A few more breaths here. Then either step back to downward facing dog or take it to your choice of a vinyasa first. When you arrive in downward dog, scan your body and invite space. Spread the fingers flat, root down through the palms. Rotate the triceps towards the ground. Broaden the shoulder blades apart. Relax the neck as you lift the shoulders and hips back. Hug the front ribs in and root down through your heels. Deep breath here. As you breathe in, raise your right leg behind you. Exhaling, bend the knee towards your nose, step the foot beside your right thumb, and stay high on the ball of the left foot in a high lunge. And inhale, rise up into crescent pose. Pause here for one full breath. Then spin your left heel down and align your right heel to intersect the arch of your left foot. Open up the arms, and let's prepare for extended side angle pose, Utthita Parshvakonasana. So bending the front knee just over the heel, rotate your right outer hip underneath, pointing the knee towards the pinky toe. Press the outer left foot into the earth and firm the top of your left thigh bone back, hugging the front ribs. And now, keeping the bend of your right knee, glide your pelvis sideways towards the back of the room. Reach the right arm and torso towards the front of the room and try to lengthen the right side of your torso here. Place your right hand on the right side of your right thigh, maybe using a block. And then raise your left arm up. So the extended version of this pose, we rotate the left tricep or outer upper arm to face the left wall and sweep that arm overhead towards the front wall. Making sure not to shrug the shoulders, slide the shoulder blades down the back, lengthen the neck, and spin your chest slightly to face the sky. Steady your gaze on one spot, maybe up past the left elbow, and keep rolling the right glute under your body. Keep tacking the crease of your right hip back towards your outer left foot. Utthita Parshvakonasana, last few breaths. Keep the bend in your right knee. Inhale, lift your torso into warrior two. Then straighten the right leg and flip the right palm to face up. Reverse triangle. Side bending towards the back of the room. Lightly land your left hand on your left leg and draw your shoulders down your back. Hug your front ribs in. Send your breath down the right side of your body. One more deep inhale. Exhale, let's step back to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, inhale, raise your left leg behind you. Exhale, lift the belly high and bend the knee towards your nose. Step the foot beside your left thumb into a high lunge. And press to your feet to rise up into crescent pose. Pause for a full breath. Then spin your right heel down and align your left heel to intersect the arch of your right foot. Open your arms and let's prepare for extended side angle pose, Utthita Parshvakonasana. Rolling your left outer hip under, point the left knee towards the pinky toe and firm the top of your right thigh bone back. Glide your pelvis sideways towards the rear wall, lengthening your torso and left hand towards the front wall before placing the left hand on the left side of your left thigh, directly under your shoulder. Raising the right arm up, rotate the tricep to face the right wall and sweep that arm overhead to feel this extended line of energy. From your outer right foot pressing the ground, up your outer right leg, up the right side of your torso, up and forward to your right arm and fingertips. Keep extending in both directions of that line as you spiral your chest slightly to face the sky. Steady your gaze and let's take a few more breaths. Keep the bend in your left knee. Inhale, rise up to Virabhadrasana 2. Then straighten the left leg and flip the left palm to face up. Side bend towards the back of the room in reverse triangle pose. Lightly place your right hand on your right leg. Hug your front ribs in towards your back. And breathe down your left side. Deep breath in. Exhale back to downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, feel the leveled height of your left and right shoulders. Try to keep them leveled. Inhale, raise the right leg behind you. And as you level the shoulders, exhale, cross the right knee to hug your left outer upper arm as you glide forward to stack the shoulders over your wrists. And step the right foot beside your right thumb. And step the left foot another 5 or 6 inches forward, keeping the feet hips distance apart. With both feet on the ground, legs straight. You may like to have a block on the inner side of your left foot here. Bring your hands to your hips and activate the belly as you inhale to lengthen your spine forward, parallel to the floor. Keep the height of your hips leveled as you place the left hand down on the inner side of your left foot, right foot. Tuck the right hip back, stretch the crown of your head forward. Now let's enter revolved triangle pose or twisting triangle, rotating your chest to the right while keeping your 2 hips leveled. Raise your right arm towards the sky. Now you may or may not find a block useful here. And if you feel pretty stable on your balance, you might explore further into placing the left hand on the right side of your front foot. But breath by breath as you turn the ribcage, twisting at your waistline, keeping the 2 hips leveled. Invite your shoulders and wrists to stack one straight line. The Sanskrit name of this pose is Parita Trikonasana. One more full breath. Stay in the posture and look down in front of your front foot. We're going to go right into revolved half moon or twisting half moon. Parita Ardha Chandrasana. So place the left hand about 1 foot in front of your right big toe. Use a block if that might be helpful. Bend the right knee slightly and lean the torso forward so it's parallel to the floor. Flex the left foot off the ground until the left leg is parallel to the floor. The feet hips width apart, keep the pelvis still, and continue to twist to the right. Inhale, press back to your inner left heel and stretch forward to your crown. Each exhale, hug your outer hips towards your midline, keeping the pelvis still, and continue to twist at your waistline. Again, stacking your shoulders and wrists. Couple more breaths. Slowly step the left foot back where it was, and this time bring both hands to your hips and inhale, rise up to stand. Let's prepare for pyramid pose. Bring your arms behind your back to open the chest, either pressing fist to fist, holding opposite elbows or forearms, or palm to palm with fingertips pointing up between the shoulder blades in reverse prayer. Root down to your toes spread, firm in the belly. Inhale, lift your chest and look up. Hug the front ribs in and exhale, hinge forward from the hips, breath by breath. Parsvottanasana, pyramid pose. Leveling your 2 hips. And let's finish a couple more breaths here. Place your hands on the floor and either take a vinyasa or cat-cow or go straight to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, inhale, raise your left leg behind you. Keep your shoulders squared as you exhale to cross that knee to hug your right outer upper arm in plank. And step the left foot beside your left thumb and step the right foot another 5 or 6 inches forward, with the feet hips width apart. Legs straight. Place a block if you need it on the right side of your front foot. Bring your hands to your hips. Keep the hips leveled as you raise the spine parallel to the floor. Breathe here. Lower the right hand on the right side of your front foot. And exhale, turn the chest to the left, raising your left arm. Twisting triangle pose, or Parita Trikonasana. You may or may not find the block helpful. You might venture into crossing the right hand on the left side of the front foot. With each inhale, lengthen your spine forward, draw the shoulders down your back. With each exhale, hug your outer hips still and rotate your chest open to the left in the sky, stacking your shoulders and wrists. Let's stay in the twist as we transition to twisting half moon, Parita Ardha Chandrasana. Gaze at the ground in front of your left foot. Keep the breath steady. Place the right hand on a block or the floor about 6 inches forward of your left big toe. Flex the right foot as you raise the right leg parallel to the ground, keeping the feet hips width apart still. Begin to rotate your chest to the left, tacking the left hip back. Inhale, lengthen through the center line of your body as you press the inner right heel back. Exhale, keep turning your chest. Two more breaths. Look down and step the right foot back to where it was in that twisting triangle, but bring your hands to your hips and inhale to rise. Let's prepare for pyramid. Bring the arms behind you, either fist to fist, hold opposite elbows, the other one on top, or reverse prayer. Press to your feet, hug the belly in, and inhale, roll your shoulders back. Exhale, hinging from your hips, extend your heart forward, keep the throat open, folding breath by breath, leveling your hips. Parsvottanasana, pyramid pose. Press down, actually lower your hands down and either take it to a vinyasa, rest, or go directly to downward facing. Few breaths here. Downward facing dog. Please walk your hands back towards your feet and let's fold over our legs in Padahastasana, giving the wrists a stretch. So make sure your feet are hips distance apart, parallel to each other. Slip the palms face up under the soles of your feet. Try to get your toes to meet the inner creases of your wrists. It might involve bending the knees more. Inhale, lift your chest and press your heart through the gates of your arms. Keep lengthening your neck as you hinge forward deeper from the hips. Drop your head, relax the neck, and if possible, bend the elbows apart so you can also lift the shoulders as you drop the head. Relax the mouth. Deep inhale, slow exhale. One more deep breath here. Slip the palms out from under. Find your strap. Bring your hands to your hips. And inhale to rise up to stand. So let's take our twisting pose into another standing balancing. Parita Uttita Hasta Parangushtasana, which is twisting hand to big toe pose. You may want to grab your strap for this one. So start in mountain pose. feet hips distance apart. Feel your two hips, maybe place your hands on them, and generally feel that they're the same height, left and right. Try to keep them the same height, where one doesn't start to lift up when you lift the legs. Draw that hip down too. Engage the lower belly, steady your gaze on a still point. Steady your breathing. Now bend your left knee in front of you and flex the foot, energize the leg. Either step the ball of the left foot into the strap and hold the strap in your right hand, or hold the outer knee with your right hand and keep the knee bent. With a strap, you can kick into the strap and begin to straighten the leg forward using the left hand to rotate the left hip down. Keep the hips even. If you can reach the outer foot with your hand and extend the leg forward, you can take that variation. Press to your right foot, stand tall as you breathe in, then start to twist to your left, reaching the left arm towards the back of the room. Inhale, stand tall, lengthen to your center line. Exhale, keep twisting. Can you feel a similarity from this posture to twisting half moon, which we just did? One more deep breath. Stay in the twist. If you're looking behind you, look in front of you, then step the left foot down. Inhale the arms forward, coil your chest up into a back bend. Exhale, forward fold. If you're going to use the strap for the second side, take it with you. Bring your hands to your hips in mountain pose. Steady your gaze, draw your navel in and up, and steady your breathing. Now flex your right foot as you raise the knee in front of you, balancing your hips. Either hold the outer knee with the left hand and you'll twist with the knee bent, or step the right foot into the strap and hold the strap in the left hand, kicking into the strap to straighten the leg. Use the right thumb to roll the right hip down, or catch the outer foot with your left hand. Draw the shoulder back. Stand a little taller as you inhale. And as you exhale, keep the pelvis still, but rotate the chest to the right and reach your right arm behind you. Breath by breath, inhale, lengthen through your center line. Exhale, continue to twist. One more deep breath. Stay in the twist, and if you're looking behind you, gaze forward and step the right foot down. This time, place a hand at your heart center, a hand at your lower belly. Pause for 3 breaths, noticing physical body, energy body, mental, emotional body. Keep the whispering sound of your breath going, Ujjayi. And let's come back to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, inhale, raise your right leg behind you. Exhale, bend the knee towards your nose and step the foot beside your right thumb. Kneeling lunge, lower the back knee, rising up. Got another twist here, so make sure your legs are hips width apart and your right knee is stacked above the heel. Then cup the top of your right thigh with your right hand, keeping your right leg solid. Breathe in and stretch your spine down the midline of your mat. Exhale, twist to the right and see if it's possible to hook the left elbow outside your right thigh. Open the arms wide, left hand on the block of the floor, or join the hands in prayer. Otherwise, you can place the left hand on the inner side of your right foot on a block of the floor and raise the right arm up. Keep twisting. Those of you who have the elbow hooked outside the right thigh, there is an arm balance option. Ekapada Kundinyasana 1, which is very similar to the shape we just created in standing, twisting hand to big toe, and twisting half moon. To play with the arm balance, you can place your hands on 2 blocks on the outer side of your mat on the right edge. So the blocks are like a number 11 pointing at the right wall. Then you place your hands so your index fingers are pointing at the right wall. The elbows will point at the left wall. So we look past the blocks on the floor and begin to bend the elbows, creating a shelf out of your upper arms that you can lean your outer right thigh against. Then straightening the legs like a L shape. There, you're in it. Ekapada Kundanyasana 1. With or without the blocks, you can practice this arm balance. Come back to your kneeling lunge and please step back to downward facing dog. Deep breath into your nose. Let's clear it out with a lion's breath. Open the mouth wide, stick out the tongue. Close the lips again, Ujjayi. Inhale, raise your left leg behind you. Round forward and exhale, step the foot beside your left thumb and lower your back knee to a kneeling lunge. Rising up, make sure your legs are hips width apart and your left knee is right on top of the heel. If you might use the blocks for the arm balance, you can set them up already so that they're a number 11 shape, pointing at your left wall, outside the left edge of your mat. From here, cup the top of your left thigh with your left hand, and raising your right arm, stretch your spine forward. Exhale, twist at your waistline. Either lower the right hand on the inside of the leg or hook the elbow outside the left thigh with arms open or hands in prayer. Now, if you have the hook, stay a few breaths and really get into that twist. We've done quite a few already, but you might take it a little deeper here, especially if you're entering the arm balance. You want to get really into the twist, as that will create a secure foundation for the arm balance. If you're going to Ekapada Kundanyasana, place your hands either on the blocks or the floor, index fingers facing the left wall. Lean forward and make a shelf out of your upper arms and lean your outer left thigh against, and then straighten your legs to an L shape. When you're ready to come out, come back to your kneeling lunge. And this time, please have a seat and step your feet in front of you. All right, let's relieve some space into our hip flexors, front body, including the torso, fronts of the thighs, in inverted tabletop. Separate your feet hips width apart, parallel to each other. Place your hands behind your pelvis, fingertips pointing towards the rear wall. Inverted tabletop, we're going to lift the pelvis and stretch the thighs forward until your knees stack right above your ankles and your shoulders stack right above your wrists. So look back and see your wrists are pretty even. Not one is further away from your pelvis than the other. And then from here, press to your hands and feet. And inhale, lift your pelvis, stretch the fronts of your thighs forward. Roll the shoulders back and press the shoulder blades down the back. Try to get the thighs and torso parallel to the floor. Lengthen the back of the neck. 5 breaths, your count. It requires some engagement of the glutes and the hamstrings to really get the pelvis to lift so it's not sinking below the knees. And then when you're ready, come back to sit. Interlace your fingers loosely and circle out your wrists. We're going to take either one more of inverted tabletop. This also is preparing us for our last back bends. Or you could choose to straighten your legs into inverted plank pose. Let me just demonstrate the second option. If you're going to have the legs straight, start with them straight, feet close together, and you want to press the soles of your feet flat into the ground. This time you might want to turn the fingertips to face your glutes. Again, when you lift the pelvis and press the feet down, you want to stack the shoulders right above the wrists. It requires a bit more engagement of the glutes and the hamstrings. So it really is an inverted plank pose. Shoulder blades down the back. So choose either keep the knees bent, inverted tabletop, or legs straight, press the soles of the feet on the ground, inverted plank, for about 5 breaths of your count. this time when you come down to rest, grab your 2 blocks and please lie down on your back. We're gonna start in a double block supported bridge pose, preparing for an option to go into upward bow on the next round. So start with 1 block, skinny width, hug it firmly between your knees and thighs. Separate your feet as wide apart as your knees, parallel the feet. Second block, lowest height, slide it across the mat under the flat bar of your sacrum or lower back. Stay here in supported bridge with knees on top of ankles and raise your arms towards the sky. Rotate your triceps forward so you can broaden the shoulder blades apart and bend your elbows. Flex your hands at your wrists, pointing the fingertips to the ground until the fingertips touch the ground alongside your ears. Or if your wrists are flexible enough, the palms might land flat on the ground. Either way, keep your elbows no wider apart than your shoulders distance. If they want to flare apart, you can step the hands a little wider apart, and that can help to bring the elbows inward. So just like the feet, you want to keep the arms pretty parallel to each other. So you've got the arms set up if you want to go into upward facing bow from here. Otherwise, stay here for the next 5 breaths. If you're going to upward facing bow, root down to your feet and hands. Lift your pelvis and stretch the fronts of your thighs forward, activating the glutes and hamstrings like inverted plank. Then bring the crown of your head to the floor. Maybe this is plenty, and then you come down when you're ready. Draw the shoulder blades down the back. And if you're going further, push off the hands and keep hugging the block. Stretch the front of your thighs forward. Isometrically drag the heels towards your glutes. After your total of about 5 breaths, and this posture is called Urdhva Dhanurasana, upward facing bow. And take it in reverse through the stages, placing the top of your head on the floor, then lowering your shoulders, then gently lowering your sacrum on the block, relaxing the arms. Pause for 3 breaths as you decide on your next back bend, whether you use the blocks or not. Could be bridge pose, could be supported bridge, or it could be 1 more round of upward facing bow. Then when you're ready, take it through for 5 to 7 breaths. If you're in upward facing bow and your hip flexors are pretty open, you could straighten your legs and press the feet on the ground, similar to the inverted plank pose. When you are finished, please come into Supta Baddha Konasana. With no props under your body, drop the knees apart. Bring a hand to your heart, a hand to your lower belly. Close your eyes for 3 breaths. Place your hands on your outer thighs to lift your knees and rock to one side or rock forward, rising to sit for our last spinal twist, seated twist. Extend your left leg in front of you and step the right foot on the ground in front of your right hip or outside of your left knee. If the latter, you might also bend the left knee. Place the right hand behind your pelvis and raise your left arm. Root down through both sitting bones and sit up tall as you breathe in. Keep your pelvis still and exhale, twist to the right. Lower the left arm onto your top leg. Maybe hook the elbow outside the thigh. A few more breaths. So now we enter the more yin portion of the practice, the cooling down. We move through the whole spectrum from warm up, which is also sort of yin, and then we energize and we really create a lot of activity with yang energy. And then we get back to yin, so we're exploring the full spectrum. Not one better than the other, but as a whole, it becomes complete. Release from the twist and cross your right shin forward or on top of your left shin for double pigeon or a seated forward fold. If your ankles and knees are stacked, and that's double pigeon, flex your feet. Ground your sitting bones, lengthen the spine, and relax the shoulders. Breathe in, hug the front ribs in, and exhale, begin to fold, breath by breath. So this combination of spinal twisting and then right after forward folding does a lot of massage into the area of the abdomen, thus stimulating the organs of digestion. So you might find it helpful to drink lots of warm water or hot tea after this practice to keep encouraging the cleanse. Press down with your hips, and as you breathe in, slowly rise up. Let's stretch the legs forward. Now step your left foot. Set up the same way if you can in your twist. Left foot in front of the hip or outside the right knee. Maybe bend the right knee too. Place the left hand behind your pelvis. Raise your right arm up. Sit up tall as you inhale. Begin to twist your left as you exhale. Lower your right arm. Maybe hook the elbow. Continue to twist. After this breath, unwind your spine and cross the left shin forward or on top of the right shin. And if your knees and ankles will stack here, flex your feet. Root through your sitting bones, lengthen your spine as you inhale. Then start to fold from your hips. Press down through your pelvis and inhale, slowly rise up. Let's straighten both legs in front and prepare for one more seated forward fold, Paschimottanasana. You might like to use a strap around the balls of your feet or walk your hands down your legs and eventually clasp the big toes. Flex your feet and press the insteps forward. Hug the front ribs in and lengthen your spine as you breathe in. Keep your shoulders relaxed and your heart slightly lifted as you're bowing from the hips. For a few breaths of Paschimottanasana. Then press again down through the hips. To your heart, lifting your torso, inhale to rise. Now it's time for corpse pose. Set your body up in a way that you can relax in stillness. Separate the feet wider than hips distance. Maybe shake out the legs until they can just rest. Turn the palms up by your sides. Walk the shoulder blades down the back. Close your eyes. And let's be here for a few minutes. Natural breath. As you rest here a little longer with eyes closed, feel into your physical body. Observe the effects of your practice on it. And being gentle with yourself, begin to move small parts of your body slowly, easing into larger movements, and gradually turning over to your right side and resting your head on your arm as you allow a few breaths to naturally pass. Sense the breath and notice your energetic state. Then press your hands into the ground and slowly lift your body up to sit, positioning it in a way that you can feel grounded, alert, and relaxed for a few minutes of meditation. Place your hands in a mudra that you choose, like stacking the palms face up on your lap or bringing the thumb and first fingers to touch. Close your eyes or steady a soft gaze at eye level. And let's begin meditation. Land your awareness on one object of focus, whether it be a place in your body in which you can steady your attention on the natural rise and fall of your breath. Or you might choose steadying your gaze, if your eyes are open, on one focal point. Know that as you rest your attention on one focal point, naturally, things will pass through your awareness. Sounds you hear, movements you feel, thoughts that come up, emotions that arise. There's no need to push them away. In fact, let them come into your awareness and then watch them shift. Watch how they might continue to go away. So simply notice what comes up and then come back to your focal point that you chose. With each natural exhalation, allow it to become easier and easier to be fully present and still. now notice your mental and emotional state of being. Feel into the overall effects of your yoga practice. As we open up our bodies and free it of contraction, unnecessary tension, and as we do the same with our breaths and our minds, we move through the layers of the 8 limbs of yoga, setting up the conditions for moments, glimpses of samadhi, unity consciousness. Bring the hands together at the heart. Bring to heart and mind something you appreciate now. And with that energy, recall your intention for this practice. And remember to whom or what you chose to dedicate it to. Picture them enjoying the benefit of your practice. And let's close chanting 3 ohms. Inhale deeply. Bow in towards your heart center. Gratitude to the light within. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.